Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this from. I hope you all are doing well. You are blessed. You are favored. All the things. I'm pulling y'all up on my phone so that I can know what's going on. By the way, let me not jinx it. But because this is Make Money in Africa, I can tell y'all Wi-Fi today. I don't need to sign in. Wi-Fi today and the electricity. They've been doing their big one. Okay. They've been a problem. So are we live? Because I don't even see it on here. Can you guys see me? Okay. I think somebody's on here. Hi. Drop a something. Let me know where you're watching me from. And if you can see me and hear me okay. Because it's not pulling up. Oh, it's here. Okay. I was like, it's not pulling up on my phone, but it's here. Okay. I like to double check y'all because the Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi has been a mess. Electricity has been playing in our face. But here we are. We keep it moving. So we are talking today about the mistakes that people make when relocating to the Gambia or Africa in general. So grab your water, grab your tea, hydrate, get your questions. Let me know where you're watching from. So hi, welcome to the live. Let me drop this here. Know where you are watching from and your questions about relocation or making money in Africa. There we go. Okay. Perfection. All right. Well, welcome to y'all. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a great day. Like I said, wanted to hop on and talk about mistakes. I had a consultation. So, by the way, guys, in case you don't know, we are opening up our calendar now for consultation. By we, my husband and I. But we're going to try to find a link. If there's anybody from the team watching, please drop the link for consultation. So if you are seriously thinking about relocating and you want a consultation to just make sure to help you pick the right country, if you don't know yet, depending on where you are in your process, know what to pack, know what to look at, all the things I wish was available when I was thinking about relocating, or even how you're going to make money while you're here. You want to grab a time slot and let's get on a call. But I was having a consultation with a family actually out of Texas who is planning their relocation for 2027. And as we were talking, I kept saying, man, that's the number one mistake people make. That's the number two mistake people make. And I was like, I got to come on here and talk to my people about this. I got to come on here and talk to my people about this. If y'all can hear me, give me hearts, thumbs up, all that stuff. Please give me hearts, thumbs up, the things, okay? So, number one mistake is not planning ahead of time. Guys, listen, relocating is thank you for the hearts, y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you. And let me know where you're watching from too. Put your comments. Let's make this interactive. But not planning ahead of time, y'all, is a problem. It's going to take you time to plan. You are already making such an important decision, and not having a plan in place is the best way to fail. So, planning ahead of time, I'll say 12 months at least. Because when I think about when we moved from Maryland to Texas, it took us about like 6 months, and that was within the country. So now when we are talking about moving, okay, we are talking about moving country, a year at a minimum is your planning time, because you got to make decisions such as where, right? You got to decide on location. That alone can take a while to figure out what country, what region, what country, why or why not. So a bunch of your time, maybe 90 days, okay, might be spent pro and con looking. And if you want to visit before you come, like narrowing it down, that's going to take you some time. Then once you've made your selection, Oh, Oyen says she is watching from Lagos. Lagos in the Nigeria in the building. But once you pick your location, you got to start determining some things like if you got a lease, would it not be nice to know that to not resign that lease because you're leaving the next month? So being able to start thinking through, would it not be nice to not buy that car if you know you're leaving in 3 months? So there are so many things that need to happen. And when you've made a decision to move, it changes the way you move. Come on, somebody. Once you've decided I'm moving in 2027 or end of 2026, it changes the way you look at life in general, what you choose to purchase, what you consume, what you buy, all of that. So location is important. Picking a date is another thing you got to figure out, right? When? And there are so many considerations. Are we moving with family? If we're moving with the kids, does it make sense to pull them mid-year, depending on how old they are? If they're young, we don't care. But if they're not young, and if we're pulling them, are they able to start school in January or Feb mid-year? Maybe, maybe not. Should we move in the summer instead? So there are so many considerations, even with picking the date. Then the decision around, like, are we shipping things? Because if we're shipping things, guys, if this is helping, give me hearts and stuff, okay? But these are the things that we work through during our consultation. But like number 3, are we shipping things or not? And we suggest that you ship things, okay? So that alone is going to take you, they tell you 6 to 8 weeks, and depending on where you're moving from. We were moving from Texas, right? And so it was supposed to take about 8 to 10 weeks. It took us 6 months to get our things. So when are we shipping things? Where do we want to be uncomfortable? Do we rather be uncomfortable in our home country, like where we are? So if you're in the US, do I rather ship my things in September because I'm planning on moving in January so that the day I get here, my things are already here? Okay, they've been unpacked, they've been layered, my house is ready, which by the way is a service that we are going to be providing through our real estate company, right? Or do I want to be uncomfortable? Do I want to be uncomfortable when I get here? So I'm comfortable all the way till December, till January. I have all my things at the house. I'm chilling. But when I move here in January, I don't have any of my stuff except for my 2 suitcases. So all these things need to be mapped out, and that pros and cons. So what does that mean? Do you first get a furnished place for about 90 days or however long it's going to take for your things to arrive? And then you move into your home? Do you not? Is it just you? Is it the children? Do we want the kids to move twice? So they move to house number 1, that's the temporary home, and then they move again in 90 days when the things are. So all of these considerations. Do we need vaccines? What are they? Right? So all of these considerations take time. So my point here is you want to give it a year, especially if you're moving with people. Now, if it's just you, honey, listen, what we're doing, you can just sell your thing, boom, 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 pop, 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 and you're used to moving, and then it's okay. Ade Beola said, watching from Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching from Nigeria. Nigeria is deep in the house. So that's the first mistake, is not planning ahead of time. Right? Number 2 mistake is not making local contacts before you move. So one of the reasons why we want to make sure that we start planning ahead of time is so that we can start making local contacts. So if you've picked the Gambia, now you don't need your kids to go to school. And things in Africa, let me talk about the Gambia and Cameroon, where I've lived. They do not, you can send the email. Let me give you an example. So my son, the plan is for him to go to Germany for college. And so he needs to take the B1 German exam. And there's no test center here in the Gambia for him to take the exam. So the closest one is Senegal. I sent an email to the institution 3 weeks ago. I've not received a response, not a spam, not a we'll get back to you, not a nothing. And that's typical. which means I probably need to go to Senegal for an exam in May. I'm going to have to either fly there or get somebody there to go and walk into the office. Welcome to Africa. Okay. And so if you're saying, oh, it's cool, I'm just going to find out and I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to boop, boop, boop. And no, the better thing to do now, if you don't got a choice, you don't got a choice, right? But if you got a year, the better thing to do is make a selection, pick a date, and start thinking through your network. Who do I know that lives in the Gambia? Because you might know somebody, right? When we picked the Gambia, we didn't know anybody, so we thought. But then when we started talking to people, we realized one of our close friend, her cousin, was going to medical school here in the Gambia, and he became our plug. He helped us find housing. He helped us organize the first meal when we first came in. And he was like, oh, I got a plug. I got a lady that can make you some proper achu. If you're Cameroonian, you know what I'm talking about. And some arrow. So when we walked into the house, we had food. He became the plug. Like, oh, I got somebody that can do this, that, the other. You need a plug. You need a plug in the country that understands the country. Your plug should not be an expat that just walked in and both of you don't know where to go. Ideally, your plug is somebody that's in the street, not in the street like that. Okay, all right, that sounded like the house, like depending on okay, not in the street like doing illegal things, but is outside, knows what's up, knows the price of things, knows just is aware of what's going on. It will save you a lot of money, can run errands for you, can go real quick to that school and see what paperwork you need, can go drop off the paperwork, can get a taxi to pick you up. You think like these things will be automated already and it's there and you can just take an Uber. There's no Uber in the Gambia. Now there are taxis at the airport, but I don't know if that's what you want when you don't even know where you're going and there's no address. I'm not saying this to scare y'all, right? I'm saying I'm giving you the playbook. That the thing that you are assuming, like I can just come in, boom, do my Uber, boom, give them the address, boom, boom, we get there. No, no, ma'am. It's a process, right? It's a process, which again is why we offer our consultation services, because we realize that there's such a gap, right? Because the infrastructure is not built yet. Now, don't look at it and say, oh, bro, there's not, no. If you're business minded, which is what we talk a lot about on the channel, these are opportunities. Why don't we have a rideshare, a Uber type thing here in the Gambia? That's it. You know, you guys always ask me, what business can I start? Could that be a thing? It's working in Cameroon. It's working in Senegal. I believe they have it in Ivory Coast, in Nigeria. Like, so would it not work here? Business opportunity. What gap? So some people hear it as a, oh, I don't think I can leave there. And some other people, and I'm hoping you are my people and you are hearing it as, I can't wait to go. Because that's a need, that's a space that's a gap I can fill. So Ade Bola asked, she said, which African country currently offered the best ecosystem for relocation and wealth building? That's a good question. Man, I wish my husband could hop on. So by the way, shout out to the husband. We'll drop also the link to his channel. Let me pin this post on here. But because he loves this type of question. I don't know. I think there's opportunities everywhere, right? I have a friend who is in Ivory Coast. Actually, I have a few people in Ivory Coast right now. My cousin making crazy amount of money in the medical spa space in Ivory Coast, like crazy amount. They have the women there. Ivory Coast has more money than Gambia, and so the buying power is much higher. So a business like that there, because these are women that would have gone to Paris anyway, to Dubai or to Turkey to get their stuff done anyway. So bringing that to them, and she's not the first medical spa there. There are lots of them already making a killing. Like she's opened up her second medical spa already. Now has a restaurant. So things are popping there. I have another friend who is killing it in the coaching space, Airbnb space in Ivory Coast. I have friends in Cameroon that are crushing it in agriculture. So there are business owners all over Africa, and so the question is not even necessarily what country is the best. I think it depends on how long is your money, because there are countries where the startup cost is so high because and the competition is so high. One of the reasons why I'm such a fan of Gambia is because there's so much opportunity. And when we say opportunity, we mean for anything and everything, because there's still so much work to be done. I think I saw somewhere that the first university in the Gambia was built in 1999. Team, please double check that for me and drop it if I'm right. The date of the where the first university was built, or not built, but opened in the Gambia. If Let me know if it's 1999, but I think that's what I saw. So when you look at that, that's like 1999. That's not long ago. That's not long ago. So this is to tell you how much there's like there's one mall, there's two big arcades, and every time somebody opens things like the arcade, it's packed, it's full. There's such an opportunity in the Gambia for the youth because there's not much for the kids to do. Outside of going to the beach, there's not much for the youth to do. And so a lot of people are making a lot of money teaching skills like makeup school, because it's something that they can learn in 3, 4 months and start making money. There's no coding school in the Gambia, right? So there's so much opportunity that to be the first, think Uber, right? The first to market, you always have so much advantage, and you can still do that and be that in the Gambia, where that's not necessarily the truth in other places on the continent. Mm, what was your best? Hi, Bella Jen Curl. What was your biggest financial mistake you and your family made after you move? I'm thinking of a few. Um, oh, a few, but this here is relevant to this channel. Starting a business too early. So when we moved, I had this thing because I'm a business coach. I was like, we're gonna start a business. We're gonna start a business. I'm starting a business. And so I started a business, and the business was a virtual assistant business. And the idea for me was, why do people have to go to the Philippines or India? Gambians are one of the nicest group of people that speak English, and I already have access to business owners and entrepreneurs abroad that need an assistant. So let's get it. So rented an office, paid for the year, because here you pay for the year, designed, decorated, bought a fridge. Well, we had already brought tables and chairs and stuff, thank God, so I didn't have to buy that. But bought everything that was needed for the office, spent all that money, hired all the things, actually launched the business, got clients, and then realized, oopsie daisy, I miscalculated what was needed. So I assume that it was just a matter of matching the people and then getting out of the way. We provide you with a laptop, fast Wi-Fi, and you go to work. You do your thing. Or if you need training, it's very minimal training. I was wrong. The first person we hired did not know how to send an email, had never sent an email before. And I say that with all due respect. Again, because if you're listening to this, that's an opportunity, right? If you are listening to this as an entrepreneur, you're like, oh, wait a minute. So there is a need for like basic tech skill. But that was not my business model, though. My business model wasn't a training center. It wasn't. So I could have pivoted, but by then I'm already running a full-time business. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait, this was supposed to be something that like an hour or two, and it runs itself. Like I'm here to market, and then you do your thing, and this was not supposed to be a training center. And so after a few months, we shut down. And then I was like, I don't even have the patience. This is not what I thought it was. And so I closed it. That was a mistake. Just making assumptions that I hire people from Nigeria all the time. and they're coming with this built-in skill set, is just going to be the same, right? And so making that mistake, not doing what I said you should do, which is you got to understand the local market, or hire somebody that understands the local market, or befriend somebody that understands the local market before you make any major move. So that was a hit to my ego too, but also a hit to our pocket and really set us back, you know? So that's one. Great question. Great question. Thank you. Guys, if this is helpful, please give me the hearts, the thumbs up, all the things, okay? Next question. For someone in the diaspora earning in dollars, how do you advise them to structure their transition without financial shock? I actually just recorded a video. Your girl has makeup on and all the things because I was recording videos for y'all. But I advise that you get. That's how much I advise that we have 12 to 18 months of savings set aside. And I don't know, maybe I need to make a video on this specifically. That is that you ain't getting a job here. And if you get the job, you won't want the job. Okay? Gambia cannot afford to pay and match your salary, any of our salary of what we used to make. We can't afford to pay you $15 an hour. I don't think. Right? And people are open, you can get one of those jobs for the UN. Okay, how many of y'all want it and how many people are there? Right? And so the reality is, for people that are moving, you either moving with your job, meaning you're working a job. So the family where we did the consultation for last weekend, the husband, not the wife, both of them are engineers. So the husband could move with his job. The wife couldn't. Okay, but the husband could, and what the husband is bringing in is enough to live it up, right? So you can either move with your job if your job will allow you to, and sometimes your job will, and you just don't know that yet because you've not asked, which again is part of the mapping out of things and starting early. So either you move with your job, or you start a side hustle online, right? You start a business online that allows you, while you don't start it here. We want to start it when we're over there and we got money coming in every month, right? Which is what I help my clients with, building online coaching businesses. We're going to drop the link to that. And that's a free strategy call. We only work with the ladies. So just FYI. So if you're a woman who has years of experience in whatever your field of expertise is, doesn't matter to me, or you have life experience doing something challenging, losing a bunch of weight or overcoming something difficult, that you're talking to people already right now, guiding people right now, an online coaching business could be a slam dunk for you. So we'll drop the link for that. For those of you that are interested, and we can come together for 30 minutes and really look at, is an online coaching business something that you should be considering. But either you start a business like that, it could be an online coaching business, it could be drop shipping, whatever the thing is. You start a business that makes you money consistently for at least 6 months. That you know that when you leave that job to move, your business got you covered. Or lastly, the last option is you set yourself up for success. How? For those of you who are looking at retirement, can retire, and all that good stuff, your retirement money can go far, right? I've consulted with people that had $650 a month, and that was their budget. They live by themselves, and they are living their best life in the Gambia. We got to be strategic around that, but they have consistent revenue coming in, right? But the other part of this is you could set yourself up for success by starting something here while you are there. Now, there's a lot of caveat with that, because if you Google, you just put, I got my money, I got scammed by Africa, there's a whole bunch of emails, not emails, but videos that come up. So you got to be very strategic with that. Schedule that consultation if you're thinking about starting a business while you're not here, what that should look like, but something that's safe. So you guys know that we've had a lot of conversations with, how would you call them? Developers, right? Real estate developers here in the Gambia, because we've been showing houses and all this stuff on the channel. And one of the investment that could be very lucrative is buying a property. That you can do while you're abroad, right? Because you could just buy. You don't build it from scratch if you're not here, right? Unless you have somebody on the ground. But let's say you bought one of these Swami India properties. Again, if you need help with what's on the market and all that stuff, just reach out, okay? But you buy a condo for, let's call it $100,000 on the beach, and you are able to start doing short-term leasing like Airbnb with that apartment for the next year or two. From what he told us, a lot of people make their money back within 4 years. So you make the $100,000 within the 4 years just by doing Airbnb. But let's say that you Airbnb that baby for the year or 18 months while you're still working that job. Okay, that starts generating money for you that you are saving, plus what you're saving with your job. And when you come, you have a house. So when you come, you get your house. Now you've cut down your expenses by a whole lot, because all you need, because you bought your property, all you really need is living expense. And if you can't figure out how to get $400 a month, either online or somehow, I mean, legally, then we have a bigger problem, right? So that's where the planning comes from, guys. Because the biggest reason why people leave the continent is money. I don't care what nobody says. Because to have money on the, ask the video, ask the people that got money on the continent whether they will want to even entertain going somewhere else. To do what? When you can have help, when you can have, if you got 3 kids, you can have 3 babysitter, you can get daily massages if you wanted to, you can get a chef to cook and bring you your food and change it. What you talk, where are you going to get that? I know people are talking about Bali. I was in Bali. I got sick the whole time I was there. Right? But like, and you have, listen, where are you going to get that at? And so you're not going to walk away from Africa because Africa was a problem, because you didn't like it. Because we have vibes. Like, what is there not to like? That's not the issue. The reason why most people go back is that they run out of money. I don't care what any of the videos tell you. Oh, I left because I couldn't really get along with the culture. I left because, girl, no, no. Tell the truth and shame the devil. 99% of the people. Now, if there's health reason, like, of course, right? It could be like, hey, there's a health reason and I can't find adequate doctors. But if you have enough money, you can do what a lot of the people do. Go to India, go to Switzerland, go to see your doctors and come back, right? And so it's the running out of money that makes Africa difficult. And I tell people there's a lot of places one can be broke, but the place you don't want to be broke at is on the continent. When I tell you, because there's no Medicaid, right? There is no social services. There is no homeless shelter. There is no, you're just going to walk into a doctor office, the hospital, and they have to take you in. It's not there. You are your backup plan, right? And with money, it's cool. But without money, okay. Hi, Meta Bob Garvey. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. I see the hearts, the thumbs up. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And I love your question. So safe to say you learned from the experience. I did learn. And we did start another business. So we have a security company called Fox Eye Security here in the Gambia. We are getting ready to launch our real estate management company here shortly. So we did learn from our mistake, which allow us to be better in making decisions about what businesses to start in the, nobody, part of business is failure and learning and selling forward, as they say. So I'm not up here saying it's not challenges like with any business. Listen, my coaching business is 7 years old and there are still challenges. Okay. So that's to be expected and lesson learned and all the things. But yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. What? That's right. Okay. What legal or immigration mistake do most entrepreneurs make when moving to Africa? I need to bring my lawyer friends to talk about this. That's a good question. The system here in the Gambia is really is not too difficult. Like to get your permanent resident card and that type of stuff is pretty straightforward. I don't know how it is in other countries and things like that. But understanding, I'll say like get you a lawyer. Get you a lawyer, understand the tax implication, understand all the things, make sure you maintain your status in whatever your home country is, because like we talked about, your home country becomes your backup plan, and there is no shame in nobody's game, right? If you're a citizen of that country or whatever your status is there, you've earned it. So making sure that you are maintaining that over there becomes important, that you update your ID when it's due. And but again, that takes money too, right? Because that means you got to fly back and update all these things. And so that's why I say, if you only have $1,500 left, and now you got to fly to the US because your ID is expiring, I can tell you that when they're asking you how is Africa, you're not going to be like, oh, it's incredible, it's amazing. You're probably going to be like, it's costing me money, and I don't see the upside. That's a good question. Hello, guys. Well, welcome to the live. Please, if this is helpful, please give me hearts, thumbs up, and all the things. Is it smarter? Oyen said, is it smarter to test the market remotely before relocating, or move first and figure it out on the. Uh-oh. More than one. What does this mean? Can y'all see me? I hope you can. I got an error message here. I don't know why. But um hmm. So I've seen people. I have friends, for example, who that's what they do every summer. Travel, they're either in Ghana or Cameroon, spend the whole summer with their family. In the water, ultimately they want to move, and that's fine, because some exposure is better than none. And I want you to know that there's not really. I think about it like motherhood. It's not. There's not necessarily two people don't do motherhood the same way, so two people don't do relocation the same way. So there's not really right or wrong. It's what makes sense for you, right? And so for them, they do that because they cannot be away because of their job. They cannot be away for more than 90 days at the time, and the commitment they have in the US. So it depends on where you are in your situation. Some people cannot do the back and forth, and they just want to go cold turkey, do the thing, and move forward. That too is a way. That's what we did. That's what we did, right? But it was easier for us to do it. I had an online business, and my husband could work remotely. So again, everybody's situation is different, and that's why we started doing these relocation strategy sessions, because everybody's situation is different. And trying to even give blanket answers to such an important decision in your life, right? Like this is such an important decision when your case might be unique and your situation might be unique, and you got to look at things and think through things and talk through things. it, that's why we have that relocation session. So the link is pinned. Just make sure if you need it, click on it, book it, and we'll be happy to walk you through all the steps. Oh, thank you so much, Ade. I appreciate that. That was a good question. Good question. Thank you guys for the hearts, the likes, the comments, and all the stuff. I appreciate it a lot. A lot, a lot. I was telling my team, it looks like we are YouTubers now. We have three channels. So if you're not following me on the other channels, so we have a channel launching called Coaches Who Get Paid. And that specifically is long overdue. Okay. 7 years coaching and teaching this stuff and helping over 1,000 women. We should have had a YouTube channel. So we're launching that. And that's all about coaching and building online coaching business. We have another channel that we launched last week called The Power Network. That's all about Christianity and business coming together, having a baby, called The Power Network, how to walk in your power and using your superpower as a Christian, as somebody that believes in God. How do you do that? So we are YouTubing. And my point was the hearts, the comments, and everything you guys do, and the subscribing and the commenting really goes a long way, y'all. Because when I tell you that YouTube is a labor of love, even when they're like, oh, you get paid. Yeah. This channel is now monetized, and I can tell you, so the likes and the comments go a long, long way because, like I said, it's a labor of love. And I love having these conversations because it gives me ideas for topics and understanding of the questions you guys have and allows me to continue creating because I'm like, okay, it's needed. There are still questions because that's what we do it for. Okay. So let me see. What other questions do we have, guys? I have 10 more minutes and then I have two coaching sessions back to back. And I have 10 more minutes. What other questions can I answer? Any other questions? Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, who should not relocate? Who should, y'all are being shady. Who should not relocate to Africa to start a business? That could be a nice YouTube video, actually. Um, So when you look at the most traumatic or life-changing things, if I remember properly from my psychology days in college, and I could be wrong, but y'all can fact check me, okay? But when you look at like the top five things that are the most like that will rock somebody's life, I think there's death, divorce, and then relocating, like moving. And I think that when you're talking about moving across continent, that's a different type of move. So that will rock your world. Okay. And so when I say that, what comes up for you? Because how did you feel the last time you moved? How do you feel when people move your furniture? Like, I know for me, y'all, I'm very type A. I used to be. Africa, listen, Africa changed me. Africa won. Gambia won me zero. Like, completely changed me. But I wouldn't have necessarily thought that my husband is more like the free flowing, go with the flow, like, let's move, where are we going? And I'm more like, let me grab my spreadsheet. Hold on. If you look at my desk, I have like five different notebook. Okay. I have this notebook here. That's the task for the day. I have my Bible notebook. I have my vision note. Like, I'm very organized. And so I'm speaking to that person. Okay. If you are her, moving can be challenging because moving requires you to shake the table, to shake the foundation and see what's left standing. And a lot of the time, not a lot is left standing, right? How you saw yourself, um, what you thought was your favorite thing, the things you thought you couldn't live without. You know, we are just used to what we are used to. And moving to me is really a spiritual, I feel like it's a spiritual thing. It's almost like a spiritual thing because you gotta it gotta feel like a calling because it's not fun. Like, who likes to move? Let me know in the chat if you like to move. I've never met somebody that enjoys moving, right? So it gotta be something that you feel drawn to, called to, something that you feel like you must do. Because I'm not gonna come on here and tell you that it's gonna be like, even with all the best planning in the world, it's still going to shake you because you're leaving behind friends, family, who you thought you were. And if you do this properly, 2 years, 3 years into your move, you should look in the mirror and not recognize yourself. Because it is possible to move and not be moved. Come on, that's a word. I'm preaching better than y'all are giving me these thumbs up and hearts. You can move and not be moved. And so for this experiment to work, sorry, hold on. For this experiment to work as it was designed to work, it needs to shake the foundation so we see what else is standing, right? So people that are not willing to go on this journey shouldn't move. So it's not a business issue, it's really a you issue. Are you willing to become the version of you that handles a move and moves well? Are you willing to embrace different? And I will say to you that my people in the US, there is almost like my dad said brainwashing, and I got so mad at him 10 years ago. He was like, "Y'all not brainwashed." I was like, "I'm not brainwashed. I'm American." So listen, if you're offended by the word, it's all right. I was too. There is this thing about being American, living in America, right? That makes you believe in things and like be anchored, even if you are still the person that says, yes, but still I'm unhappy with X, Y, and Z. But believe me when I tell you that there's been a brainwashing that has kept you there and is keeping you there up to this point, right? And so part of the opportunity with moving and relocating is becoming a new person. Is giving you distance to really say, do I really need the new phone? Because actually, that phone is not getting to the Gambia probably until 3 weeks later. Oh, wait, I survived and I didn't do a Black Friday sale. Wait a minute, I didn't change the colors of my tree and I've had the same tree for 5 years in a row and nothing is wrong. Wait a minute, I didn't have to do Thanksgiving and yet I'm still thankful. There is a deep change if you let it. If you let this experiment do what it's meant to do, 2 years after you move, or a year or 6 months, you should look at yourself in the mirror and say, bro, I don't even know who that is, but I think I might like it. And if you're not willing to go on that journey and you're going to come on here and complain, not, I complained, okay? I complained when I was here. I complained that the plantain price is high. I complained, we are human. But I want to make sure that wherever you decide to relocate to, that you allow that experience to do for you what it was meant to do. Otherwise, you just changed zip code, but you didn't change. You didn't move. And that to me would be the sad part. And that to me is another reason why people move, because they never left. Child, they left the plantation, but they never left. And I'll leave it right there. Okay. Let's see. Give me a dab. Bob Garvey, hi, says, what's the best small business you can start, especially in the Gambia? What's the budget we're looking at? Because, small business, I think in America, small business is if you are making less than, is it 500,000 or a million? Or is it two? Somebody should Google it for me. So what are you considering a small business? What is the budget? Let me know, and then we can talk. How important is local partnership versus building independently as a foreigner? That's excuse me. Local partnership is so important. It's like you're taking notes from my video from today. Local partnership is really important. And that's maybe the number 3 mistake. Okay, I've been listing them out that one can make when relocating is not having local partnership. You need it. You need partnership no matter where you have a business. Okay. But especially on the continent, you need to have a guy. Child, you need you need to have a guy. And you can have a guy everywhere and anywhere, and it's not that difficult. But you need a crew. You need a guy for everything. You need to have a plug for the school. You need a guy that can fix your plumbing, fix your electricity. You need a guy that can tell you, like, bro, don't buy that land. You need a guy. So local partnership should be your priority. Instead of like coming in and say, I got to start a business on day one, is I got to make a core group of friends in 90 days. True friendship. Okay. I got to make, if you ask me what's the most important thing you can do the first 90 days, is not, first of all, I don't even advise that you start a business your first 90 days. It is to relax. It is to release some of the doctrines that you're bringing with you, because that's not going to work here. It is to make relationship on the ground, especially with locals. Because you already know the people. I'm baffled by this, right? Like, people who move all the way to Africa just to hang out with the same people you were hanging out with in Georgia, the same people. Why did you don't got no one Gambian friend? I'm looking at you sideways. Why are you here? Why? It is so important to make local, and listen, I'm not the most like I'm outside kind of person, but even I know that it is really critical and important. So yes, we pray for that you make really good friends. Should you have some people in the returnees, and sure, but it is equally, if not more important. Because imagine being in a classroom and you're in first grade. Why do I want to make friends with only first graders, or you're a freshman in college? I don't want to just I want the seniors. Okay, tell me what's up. Tell me that guy doesn't really like me. He just messes around with all the freshmen and call them, what do they call them? I forget, there's a name. Tell me that a freshman won't tell me that. A senior will. Tell me don't take that class because that teacher. Tell me don't hang out over there at night because who's going to tell you that? Somebody that's from the place, knows the place, is around the place, understand the nuances. So it is critical to make local friends and partnership. Absolutely. Okay. 10 year. Did you say 10 euro? Like you mean, okay. Oh, 10K? I thought I saw 10. I would be like, now you know. Okay, 10,000 euros. So really, book a consultation. If you're talking 10,000 euro and you're seriously considering investing in the Gambia, please book a consultation. The link is up there, and let's really have a serious conversation. And part of what we want to talk about is not just what's the right business. 10,000 euro, you can start something, right? It's not just like, oh, these businesses are good, but also understanding your experience and expertise. For example, the couple we're talking to and we had a consultation with over the weekend, the wife has a side hustle where she bakes. Now it's not, I don't think like she doesn't have a bakery in America or anything like that, but she bakes. And so starting a bakery here is a no-brainer, but we wouldn't have known that without a consultation, right? And so that's the importance of actually scheduling this consultation so we can really get into not just giving you, oh, here at 20. And we have videos actually where I talk about businesses you can start with $500, $1,000 on the channel, so you can watch that. But again, it doesn't answer what makes sense for you, right? But there are videos on the channel that I recorded maybe 3 months ago that you can watch. That's a good question. Let's see. Within the next year, what would you tell them to focus on starting this month? If they're considering moving, let's say February 2027, is what I told the people I had, what I said earlier, right? Number one, pick a location. So you got to follow the map. Number one, you got to pick a location. Number two, pick a date, right? Number three, determine where you're going to be uncomfortable, because that's a big one. Just determine specific, like around furniture, determine lodging, determine medical stuff, who's going to be your doctor, who's going to do your checkup, determine do you need visas, and all the details and the logistic, figure out your logistic, right, that you need to focus on. But the first thing is you got to pick your location. And being on this live is good. right? Because you are getting information, you are gathering. In when I was a business analyst, we call this gathering information. You are gathering information, but the danger with that sometimes, and why I want you to pick a date, is because so many people get stuck in gathering information mode. In business, in relocation, I'm still gathering. I'm gathering information, and then it becomes overwhelming. So I want you to even put a deadline to it, right? I'm giving myself by March 25th. I'm gonna pick my country. Okay. Then once you've done that, then you can say, okay, my date to go. You look at when is easiest thing if you're renting. When is my rent due? Like when is the next contract? Okay, it's March. I just signed the lease. I need to be out of here by March. Great. Let's pick March. Or I have kids and I don't want to disturb them mid-year. So we're looking at June. Perfect. June 2027. Or nothing is stopping me, Sandra. It's just me. Okay, so are we looking what we need? 60 days, pick a date. So making decisions will be the focus. Okay, if you are serious about relocating within the next year, make a decision. If you need help, because you might have blind spot, schedule, book your consultation. Okay. All right, I have 3 more minutes. Final questions as we get ready to wrap up. You are very welcome. Absolutely. 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 Yeah, book it. I think when you click on the link, let me see. It's been a while. I've not looked at this. Uh, Let me see, guys. Okay, so when you book a call, yeah, it gives you access to free consult, 20 minutes free consultation. And then from there, we'll talk about if we need a deep dive call. Okay. But yeah, you can book a 20-minute call. It's free. And we can chat about where you are in the process and what's realistic. Uh, what other questions, my people? Yo, the Wi-Fi has been good on this channel. I was live on my other channel, and the Wi-Fi was not this good. So, mhm. Would you recommend? I feel like the Gambia. I like the Gambia. It's small. It is small. It's the smallest country on the continent. So it is very small. Countries that I love, like if you're talking about like hanging out and I like, or that I would consider, we'll have to dive deeper into numbers and things and make sure it makes sense for me. But countries that I like, I love Ghana. I went to Ghana, I loved it. I like Nigeria. Now, all the Nigerians are like, wait, what? I like Nigeria. Okay, I like Nigeria. Um, Obviously, there's security concerns and all that stuff. But you asked me what I like. I don't mind. I like Nigeria. I really enjoy Ivory Coast. Loved Ivory Coast when I've gone there. Dakar is beautiful. Dakar is pretty, but it's a French. Ivory Coast and Dakar are French-speaking countries. I've not been to like Rwanda. I hear Rwanda is really nice. I've not been to South Africa, but I hear it looks pretty. I don't know. But yeah, I think if there's a place that I would really consider, I would have considered Ghana. The people seem nice. I like it. I like Ghana. Ghana is nice. So that's, but again, I've not really deep dive into it. This is a good question for my husband. When it comes to like this type of people, somebody that has researched the continent, knows policies, politics, all the things, Build Africa Now, he's your guy, right? And can really answer because he's done like a deep dive and was the one that gave us the short list of countries that we could look at. And Gambia was on, I was like, Gambia, where is Gambia? Like, you mean Zambia? He had been putting the work even before I saw the light because it took me a while to say yes to moving. Also trying to and in regular contact with a solar production company for a partnership. Hope it will work out really good. Because when I tell you the electricity is tripping, today specifically, it's been okay, but today has been a mess. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, guys, listen, we are 55 minutes. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for the views, share, like all the things. We have been just like in awe of the growth of the channel, of the community build, reading your comments and all the things. It's been like, it's something, right? You put work out there, you don't know how it's going to be received, but you guys have been just the MVP. So please continue to follow, subscribe, comment, share. Our website is on there, so feel free to contact us for questions or anything like that that you have, or even video ideas. We really appreciate it. We appreciate this community that we are putting together. And with that being said, we are putting together a retreat. We are putting together a retreat. More information on this. I probably should do a video, guys. We should do a video talking about the retreat here in the Gambia, women only. Okay, we'll do something co-ed. It'll be a merger of Build Africa Now and my channel. Me and my husband will do something. But November 11th to the 17th, I believe, are the dates this year in the Gambia. We are having a retreat called the Homecoming. Okay. And the homecoming is for the woman who feels like she's at that threshold. She's currently hiding in plain sight, and she just knows that there's a next level for her that she needs to figure out how to unlock. And so that's what this retreat, where else but the motherland, for you to be able to reset and hear from God and figure out what it looks like to work in your power and unlock that next level. For some of the women coming, that next level is a promotion. It's a book they need to write. It's a business they need to start. And for some of them, it's relocation. All right. For some of them, it's relocating. And so we have a special package for the people that are actually thinking about relocating. This retreat is the best thing you can do because it allows you to really see, not just hear on a video, but experience the place, experience Africa. For the VIP, they get here a day earlier, see how I run my 7-figure business from here, be able to have a private dinner with me, being able to visit lands and access to what's next and what's coming that we haven't even featured on our channel. So it's going to be a really incredible time. So wanted to share it here first because we've not announced it on the internet yet, but it's coming. If you're interested in the retreat, feel free to send us an email. What is our email? Hold up. Feel free to contact us. Hold on. Let me see what the email is, or if one of the team member can please drop the contact us. Oh, here's how you contact us. I'm dropping it here and just say retreat. I don't want more than 12 women at this retreat, so we're going to keep it super intimate and transformational. So that's the link there. So thank you guys so much. And thank you from Germany. Oh, nice. My son is moving to Germany. So that's awesome. I should at least know how to say something. Guten Tag. Is that what you say? I don't know. And I took actually German in school. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I got to run. I appreciate y'all. Have a great day. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.